Hey, everybody, let's talk some Major League Baseball action on Thursday night. I'm Bruce Marshall. We're going to be talking about Marlins Mets at Citi Field. We'll get to that in just a second. First of all, though, quick housekeeping note. As always, don't forget, click that subscribe button on your screen right there. Make sure you get all of our Wager Talk TV videos. And don't forget, hey, football season's coming up pretty soon here. We got a special offer at Wager Talk on my picks. And that's the All Bruce Pack. That's for the next year. All of my picks, we're reducing that from $1,999 down to $1,459. Big reduced price there, but that gives you all my picks. That's all the baseball. That is all the college football, all the NFL, all the NHL, all the NBA, all the college hoops, all the soccer, everything. All of the picks, 365 days. Special price, $1,459. Check it out online right now. And don't forget, we'll be coming up on some football really soon as well. Thursday night, though, let's talk Major League Baseball. Let's talk about this one at Citi Field. And you can see on the crawl at the bottom of the screen there, looking for perhaps a pitcher's battle here tonight in Queens as the Marlins hit Citi Field to take on the Mets. Interesting matchup, Yuri Perez and Nolan McLean on the mound, and both pitching extremely well lately. The Mets are favored here tonight. You see the crawl there, minus 135, 136 is a favorite, and you're catching about plus 113 or so on the Marlins. That total, like we mentioned, at 7, priced the total leading slightly to the over at minus 114. But let's talk about the Mets here for a second. And I have had a theory about the Mets this season. And looking at the prices on Mets games, I think the marketplace tends to overreact to positives a bit more with the Mets than almost any other team. They have had a little uptick in the last week. They did have 3 wins in a row until last night when they were blanked by Chris Sale and the Braves bullpen 1-0. But whenever the Mets have a little bit of an uptick, it seems to be reflected in some extra support and a premium placed on them in the marketplace there as the wagering public seems to want to believe in the Mets. We've been waiting a long time, though. It's too late now. They're 17 and a half games behind in the NL East. They're well out of the wild card race too. So, but this dynamic with the Mets and the marketplace seeming to adjust to a few good efforts continues, and that's one of the reasons they're favored here tonight. That's a little part of it. I know McLean has pitched pretty well lately. We'll talk about him in a second. The Marlins are interesting here because it looked like everything had gone completely pear-shaped for Miami into this week. They had lost 12 in a row. They had been in a playoff spot there, at a wild card spot, and getting close to the Braves also in the NL East, and all of a sudden it all fell apart right before and then after the All-Star break with those 12 straight losses. But this week, things can turn around really quick in Major League Baseball. Just like that losing streak put the Marlins behind the 8 ball. Here they come back this week in a rousing series at home against the Phillies. 3-game sweep from Miami, 2 extremely dramatic wins on Monday and then last night, down 6-0 last night, fighting back to win 8-6. On Monday night, they fought back from a late 7-5 deficit to win 8-7, and Sandy Alcantara in the middle game on Tuesday, spinning a 1-0 win over the Phils. So it can't have been more dramatic in that 3-game uptick for the Marlins, and it looks like they might be back on track here. Watch Griffin Conine too. He's had 2 pinch hit homers in the last few weeks, and the big one last night to help out the Marlins as they had that comeback win against the Phils. So if they're back on track here, might be willing to take a look. Now, we'll point out that these teams have played 6 times. Each has had a home series this season, and their matchups against each other. The home team has won every time. The Marlins had the sweep down in Miami and Memorial Day weekend, and the following weekend, the Mets got the sweep at Citi Field. Nolan McLean, one of the pitchers tonight, along with Perez, got the win in the May 31st game, only allowed 2 hits in 5 innings pitched, though he did walk 5, but still the Mets had that win 10-1. Perez, the other way, had a win against the Mets on May 22nd. Very good outing. He only gave up a first-inning homer to Juan Soto, who's, by the way, on the injured list right now. That was all they allowed. Picked up the win in a 2-1 Marlins win at home. Now, Talking about Perez here, he has pitched in some bad luck lately, and nobody really had more bad luck in the recent Marlins losing streak than Perez did. But he still pitched very well. Do you know in his last 6 starts, his ERA is 1.75? That is pretty darn good. So Perez is holding up his end of the bargain. Like we said, he did beat the Mets once earlier this season. Now, we know McLeod the other way has been pitching pretty well also. Got to mention him. In July, 1.50 ERA. He has emerged as sort of the ace of the Mets staff. But it's worth pointing out, as well as he's pitched and across the season, he's had 21 starts. The Mets have only won 9 of those. So they have a losing record in games McLeod starts. Not all his fault. It's more the Mets' fault. And we mentioned Soto is out right now. And I just don't trust the Mets. We've seen that all season long. And I think there's better value tonight on the Miami side with Perez, and especially since the Marlins have bounced back. And I think they're back in the playoff race right now, just 2 games out of the wild card after falling a little bit further behind in that losing streak. The Marlins are back, and I think that's my recommendation here tonight, getting a slight plus price on Miami up at Citi Field. I think it's worth a look with the Marlins tonight, plus 113 with Perez. We'll see how it goes. Okay, don't forget, if you got any comments for me, hit the comment box on the screen there. Let me know what you're thinking. Always love to hear from you. And don't forget, we'll be back with some more baseball later in the week. Football coming up pretty soon as well, so stay tuned for that. And we will be back soon. So until next time, that's a goodbye from me.